And it's nice to see that you took that Stone Cold quote and you know, Steve Austin quote and like really applied it to yourself. Because like I don't see everything you do, but
Hmm.
from some of the stuff I've seen, man, I'm very impressed. Because when I first met you, and I'll probably post this picture as part of this video in post production. But when we first met each other, I'm in my full White Ranger, Power Ranger costume. He's Scorpion at the time. That another YouTube channel had just posted a White Ranger versus Scorpion video. So you and I are having so much fun with the pictures and doing all that. But just looking at you at that time, like I had no idea this guy was a wrestler. You wouldn't even think. And then I just see some of the stuff you do in the ring. It's like, wait a minute, this guy, he wrestles? That was so dope, man.
Oh man, I remember that day too because I was, it was my first Comic Con,
Mhm.
um, and I went to visit my friend. He was in the military, and I was like, hey, let's go to Lexington Comic and Toy Convention. And man, I was it was Bat in the Sun, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the White Ranger versus Scorpion, and I see you from afar, and I tracked you down. I tracked you down. I was like, "Oh, it's about to go down." And then finally, you stopped at Sony Arlen booth, and I was like, "We
Mhm.
gotta do it."
We had to, man. We got some really good pictures that day, man.
Oh yeah, and then I've been going to school for graphic design and visual effects what seems forever. And I just made our little image, you versus or White Ranger versus Scorpion. Fun times.
Yeah, those times were so fun. Hopefully, we can get back together and do that again. You know, when all the craziness with the COVID crap is over with. But
Hmm.
as we scurry on along here, you mentioned how your character evolved, but with that and performing in the ring, you also have to keep yourself fit and healthy and all that stuff. So with the toll that wrestling, taking bumps in wrestling takes on your body, what is the routine that you use, like as far as eating and diet and working out? What is your routine to keep yourself in ring shape?
Okay, yeah. So it's you know what? Let's do it this way. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think we could do it. So I try to stay ring ready by going training at least I was doing 2 to 3 times a week, and then I would wrestle on Saturday, um, and then basically go over it again and do the same process over and over. But as I got more shows, I just was starting to do it before the wrestling matches started. And a lot of people, whenever they look at me, they're like, "Oh man, you're going to tire yourself out before your match." I was like, I'm fine." Um, but that keeps me ready so I don't just run out of breath because hitting those ropes and taking the bumps and jumping off the turnbuckle, my springboard missile drop kick, um, man, if I didn't learn how to land right, I would it would just take all my breath out of me. So basically, yeah, there's a in ring shape and then there's out ring shape. Well, I call it out ring shape, and that's just like doing your cardio, um, having a workout program. Um, there, nutrition is a thing, and sometimes I'll follow it, but then sometimes I won't. So I'll follow it for like 12 weeks, and then I'll get bored, and then I'm like, all right, I need to get some junk food in me.
Yeah, you start feeling like you need a pizza.
Yeah, exactly. But then I go overboard because then I deprive myself of all that junk food. Once I do it, I just next thing I know, it's been 3 months later. I'm like, well, crap. All that stuff I did 12 weeks ago, just it's all gone.
Let's jump into the fan zone for a second,
Okay.
because to even want to be a wrestler, obviously you have to be a fan. So, growing up, who were your favorite wrestlers. I'll let you pick five. Top five favorite
Five?
wrestlers. Yep, top five favorites of all time.
All right. So, let's see. I'm gonna put so starting from five, we're gonna say uh, Shawn Michaels. Number four will be Mankind. Number three would be um, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Number two is Triple H, and number one is definitely The Rock.
Yeah, The Rock is the man, even to this day.
Yeah, yeah, and like that was like the reason why he stayed at number one was just he's the one he's the one that got me into wrestling, just watching him. So
And a lot of his, I became a bigger fan of The Rock. I was already a fan of The Rock when he was wrestling, but I became more of a fan of The Rock afterwards. Like just seeing all the stuff he's done with, you know, bringing awareness to depression, how stuff the stuff he's dealt with, his acting career. Like I'm trying, like for me, I try to, follow that a little bit. He was a wrestler. I'm a martial artist. He does movies. I work on the news, do
uh,
YouTube and stuff like that.
what?
So he's like that guy. He just does it all. So everything that comes the Rock's way, man, more power to him. Bless him.
And he's doing it the smartest way ever. Like what is it called? So you remember the show I Love Lucy?
Yes,
So her and the guy, I think it was her real husband actually. They owned that show.
really.
Yeah, so they were getting all the profits from it, or not all of it, but a lot of the profits from it. So, whenever The Rock was starting out on his acting career, and after he uh, retired from wrestling for a little bit to do acting schools and all that, he got tired of being told what to do about like his body weight, and because actors fluctuate through weight, he didn't want to do that. So him and his ex-wife started Seven Bucks Production, and they started making their own movies.
The best hustle ever.
Right?
That is
So
a grind.
exactly, and now he's one of the number one actors. I was like, that's smart.
Yeah, like I always say, The Rock. That's that. He's that dude. 2020 has been a bit of a cluster F, to say the least, with
Yeah.
COVID and all the other crap going on this year. And with that, how has the, as what culture calls it, the global bastard going on right now? How's that affected your independent bookings?
A lot, a lot. A lot of the promotions that I go to, they been shut down, and I went from six different promotions down to one, and I was wrestling at least 4 to 5 times a month, and now I'm now going down to wrestling only one time a month, and it's like, oh crap. Um, but I mean, I'm still doing good. If you have merch and you have a fan base, you're gonna do really good.
Okay. Well, are there any challenges that come with being not just an indie wrestler, but just from your own personal experience? Have you ran into any challenges with being a person of color in the realm of professional wrestling?
Um, I mean, at the beginning, I did, or I thought I did, maybe. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. I think I did just a little bit, only because like it's dominated by different people. Obviously, trying to say it without going on the deep end, but people have their favorites, and you could definitely tell. And whenever you're mixed like me, or if you're a black wrestler, it's it was definitely hard or harder, I should say, to get that top spot. And I think in independent wrestling, it's definitely breaking down barriers for mixed wrestlers, black wrestlers, Hispanic wrestlers, women as well. Definitely the women. Um, and now it's just like little hiccups here and there, I would say.
You mentioned the business, as you put it earlier. I mean, what is your opinion of? I guess like we'll just stick to mainstream stuff. What is your opinion on like AEW and WWE and Impact? The state of the business as it is right now. What do you think about all that?
um, I think AEW is a great thing for not only just because it gives us something different than WWE. Um, AEW is giving a platform not only for popular wrestlers that came from that we saw in Ring of Honor before, or people coming from WWE to AEW. Um, they're taking independent wrestling talent and they're giving them this platform to wrestle in front of thousands of people to get their names out. It's not just dominated by WWE. There WWE isn't the main goal anymore. It can be if you want it to, but AEW, for me, I feel AEW is giving a broader platform for what we said earlier: women, people of color, um, the Hispanic wrestlers, giving giving the fans a actual tag team division instead of putting random people on teams. Um, they're giving people like me from on the independent scene an opportunity to show what we could do.
All right, and I totally agree with that. It's nice to have, and I felt the same way around 2005 when it was TNA at the time. Impact when they got on to, I believe, was it Spike or was it? Yeah, it was Spike TV at the time. So
Hmm.
it was not. It's always nice to see something other than if you want to go look at the entertainment. I mean, obviously WWE is there. They're a giant. They're always going to be there.
Yeah.
But then you got an alternative at the time like TNA and even now AEW, where
Mm.
like I love the in ring competition. I don't care if a guy can talk or not. The promos are fun. I love it, but I like that fast paced action. If you want to see that, it's always great to have that alternative. Other than just you got some wrestling here, but an hour and a half of it's going to be on screen drama. It's like that's
Exactly.
cool, but after every Monday for 3 hours, it becomes a little bit much. You know
Oh
what I
yeah,
mean?
definitely. But since you put that out there, um, there, like I said, there's more options. I know I was talking about like more of AEW and WWE, but there's Ring of Honor,
Yep.
what you said, Impact. Um, like if you don't want any of those companies, you can always go on YouTube and type in independent wrestling, and you have a full thing there. And like, especially when Impact is getting better than what it used to be, in my opinion. And Ring of Honor has always gave us that fast-paced action. Like these are the shows that people need to watch on because WWE, they're always going to be there. There's no doubt about it. No one's going to take that massive monster down. um, but it gets stale whenever you see the same thing over and over
Yeah.
again. And that's why that's why I put all these all those are my main wrestling focuses. Besides, I do watch Evolve on a daily basis, not a daily basis, every other day.
Evolve. A lot of the guys that came out of Evolve are pretty. You wouldn't believe the names that's been there. Matt
Yeah.
Seidel. We got Keith Lee from there. Matt Riddle. It's crazy how these talented individuals wind up. And I mean, more power to them because they're great. I wish
Uh-huh.
they were used a little better, but I mean, now they're in WWE, and it's just a testament to what the independent wrestling scene is. It's a true testament to that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Who are some of your favorite guys to watch out of all the promotions we just talked about?
Um,
Male or female?
um, you know, out of the promotions that we talked about, um, one of the guys I met, uh, um, which actually he just went on. He just been on. He just got a contract for in WWE. Kurt Stallion.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, he was just on NXT not too long ago. He's doing well. He's doing real good. But I always watched his wrestling matches like on the independent scene because everything just comes natural to the guy. I mean, everything you see in that ring, you're invested in and you believe every single hit, every single emotion, every single every single movement he does, you just believe.
Okay. With that said, when it comes to other wrestlers in the business, maybe they're well known or just on the indies with you. What is some of the best advice that you've gotten from any of them outside of we mentioned Dr. Tom earlier, but outside of that?
um Man, let me try to think of the main things. The main things is to be you, definitely. Um, if anyone out there that's watching this, you want to be you. After your match or even before your match, you want to watch every single wrestling match. I know you feel like there's no time, but literally you will learn something new every time you watch a wrestling match, even on the independent scene. Like you're not gonna be too big, but you're also not gonna be too small. And that was something that I had to kind of learn by myself, like on the whole big or small thing. Um, just basically pay attention and be safe. Yeah, like literally those are the main things.
Now, what is your ultimate goal as a professional wrestler right now?
Um, for me right now, AEW is a big goal right now. Um, just to show, just to show what I have to people out in the world. Um, it's not like a permanent thing. That don't get me wrong. If they offered it to me, I would take it. But from an independent standpoint, I would just like to be on there to show what I can give to the audience. Um, I, like I think I'm one of those wrestlers that people that are getting into these promotions more and more. I think I'm one of the guys that they kind of like look past in the room. I get a lot of respect from a lot of people, but I feel like to me that it's like they just look at me differently. I don't have a clique, and that's I don't really fit into a certain group. I kind of try to go off and I talk to other people. Um, what was the question again? I'm sorry. I went on a tangent again.
You're basically your ultimate goal as a
Oh,
professional wrestler.
yeah. like I said, to show what I got, and hopefully one day I can get into like a Ring of Honor. Um, After hanging out with those guys and helping them build the ring a couple of times, and just being backstage with a lot of the guys back there, it that felt like a place that I could actually make a home for wrestling.
And I have no doubt in my mind that you'll be able to do that. So I want to be respectful of your time. So what is next for you in the near future? What's next for CJ Shine?
Um, like I said, I'm going to school for visual effects right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish that, and then next year after April, I'm going to focus on getting uh, more promotions, and I'm going to travel more, and I'm going to put myself out there even more than what I've been doing. Just just for that aspect of showing the world that I could be in wrestling. I am a wrestler. Like, wrestling's in my blood now. Like I told you at the very beginning, wrestling's in my blood, and I just don't want to stop.
Well, you mentioned, getting yourself out there and promoting yourself more. You got to tell everybody how they can find you, all your social media, all that jazz.
Oh man, you're putting me on the spot now. No, so on Instagram and on Twitter, it's at real underscore CJ underscore shine. Um, there was a lot of people that took the whole CJ Shine name, so I had to go with underscores. But yeah, those are my tags. It's the same for both Instagram and Twitter. And I'm active on both. If anyone has any questions, I'll let them know. There's a lot of schools for wrestling, so if you guys tell me where you're at, I could probably find you something easier than if you looked it up online.
All right, man. Well, thank you so much for doing the show today. Great to talk to you again, man. It's been a while. We had to catch up.
Right?
Yes, man. It's been too long, man. I can't wait for us all to be able to get out of the house and actually, go places like Lexington Comic Con or.
That, and I need to show up to one of your car shows that you got.
Oh yeah, man. Team Prodigy 216 is my car show, my car club, and we throw a show every year. And we, man, we really missed it this summer, man. We
Uh,
missed it. Couldn't really do anything. So it's just one of those ventures that
oh yeah,
you
that
just
that
gotta
was my
have some
plan.
fun.
That was my plan. I was like, I even told my wife in January. I was like, man, I can't wait for Dee's freaking car show. I'm just gonna show up and act a fool, and then this whole COVID thing happened.
Yeah. Well, I really do hope you're staying safe, man. Thank you once again, and ladies and gentlemen, CJ Shine. Check
Pinkies
him
up,
out.
baby.
Oh yeah. Thanks a lot, man.
Thank you.